The 2024-2025 FAFSA season has been a tough year. Unfortunately, when they began processing a student's FAFSA to get their ISER, that's the Institutional Student Information Record, the ISER, they started realizing there were a few problems. First, there was a noted vendor error that created issues and incorrectly processed thousands of FAFSA applications. The number was actually estimated it could even be 1 million FAFSA applications had issues. And the U.S. Department of Education indicated that they would get those reprocessed by essentially May. And college decision day is May 1st. Earlier this year, several schools had already adjusted their college decision days. They pushed them to June 1st or other dates to help accommodate the issues with the FAFSA. Not all schools were pushing their dates, but at this point, everyone should double check their school's financial aid website and not make assumptions based on one school, especially if you're applying to several, and look at the policies there on decision days. Every school's policy is going to be a little bit different, and every school has different ways to handle or manage the FAFSA process and some of the confusion and issues that they've been facing. For example, some schools have other types of financial aid applications that they request from their students. The CSS profile, which is actually through the College Board, is a requirement for several hundred institutions. And some schools already have information on their student that will allow them or make it easier for them to go ahead and start creating financial aid packages. Other schools have implemented their own forms or used their own scholarship applications, but every school is going to be a little different on how it's handled. There hasn't been a school that we have been in contact with or spoken to that hasn't indicated that they would be flexible throughout this process, because everyone's in the same boat. That's one thing for students and families to understand, is everyone is in the same boat. It is stressful, it is challenging, but everyone is facing very similar challenges along the way. With decision days being more flexible or pushed out, that doesn't mean that students are going to have a lot of time to compare financial aid award letters. That may mean you should be doing some homework now to get yourself prepared. Some of the top recommendations will be to look at your finances, talk to anybody in your college journey, and ask them about realistic expectations on how your higher education is going to be paid for. What are your budgets? And then take some time to understand the cost of student loans. This year, compared to other years, you have some time to make a plan. How much can you afford to pay out of pocket? How are you going to pay for your daily living expenses beyond financial aid? Things like even doing your laundry, paying for gas, anything that could be extra. Really come up with a good, solid plan to help you through that. Take some time now to look for some scholarship opportunities. You want to take the time to really create a beautiful plan for yourself that you will be ready to go, and maybe have even more money than you need for this year that maybe you can defer to the following year to help you cover those college costs. But while you're waiting, you do have a little bit of time. I know life is still happening and a lot of things are still priorities, but maybe take some of the time that you would be taking now to review financial aid award letters to look for some scholarship opportunities. What I will say is, this is a year for patience. This is a year for planning, pre-planning, to make it a little bit easier on everybody to get through this process. Check your emails, check your school portals. Keep your eye out for any information coming to you. Make sure you subscribe to our social media channels to keep up to date. Visit us on advisors.com and check out the Student Life blog for your latest updates with the 2024-2025 FAFSA fiasco.